Hello, my name is Muhammad Bintang Fadila, and I'm a pro site support Salwa with different angle.
Hi, and I'm Salma Teningrum. I'm here as a prosite too.
Halo, I'm Roni Permana. I'm in counter side.
Hello, I'm Naila Fitria Khairisa. I'm counterside. Disagree college is not responsibility.
Halo, I'm Anissa Dulatul Kalbia as moderator. Hey everyone, I'm glad we could all sit together today after a long day of lectures. Salwa mentioned something really interesting during class earlier, something that got me thinking. Salwa, would you like to share your thought with everyone?
Sure, Anissa. So I've been thinking about this for a while, and I truly believe that entering college is, in effect, the beginning of a student exposure to a free and permissive lifestyle, what we call pergaulan bebas in Indonesian.
So I totally agree with Salwa. When students leave their parents' home and live independently in boarding house or dormitory, there is literally no one to monitor them. No curfew, no rules. They are free to do whatever they want, whenever they want.
Completely disagree with both of you guys. College is not a gateway to a permissive lifestyle. It is a place to grow academically, socially, and intellectually. The problem lies in the individual's character, not in the institution itself.
Exactly, Naila. We should not blame the system for the mistakes of a few people. I strongly believe that if a student has strong moral, values, and religious principles, entering college will never lead them to pergaulan bebas.
That sounds idealistic, Ronnie, but reality tells a different story. Not every student walks into a college with a strong moral foundation.
Alright. This is getting interesting already. Let's hear each side more carefully, Salwa. Would you like to start presenting your arguments? Salwa, please explain your argument further. What evidence do you have to support your claim?
Of course, a survey conducted by BKKBN in 2020 showed that around 33% of Indonesian youth aged 17 to 24 have been involved in premarital relationship. Most of them are college students living away from home. The freedom and the social environment in campus life can expose young people to parties, alcohol, and romantic relationship without boundaries.
And let me add to that, in many boarding areas near campuses, students often organize late-night gatherings that can quickly get out of control. Without parental supervision, they may experiment with things they never tried before, including using drugs or engaging in risky behavior. The new social environment opens doors they never even knew existed back home.
Exactly, and it's not just about physical behavior. College also introduces students to ideologies and worldview that can sometimes challenge or even contradict the values they were raised with. Some students without proper guidance and applause in that process.
There is also the influence of media and content that becomes far more accessible once students live alone. They are exposed to streaming platforms, social media, influencers, and online communities that normalize behavior their families would never approve of.
But Bintang, wouldn't this same influence exist even outside of college? You're describing a problem of the digital age, not a problem of higher education.
Naila, it's true, but college amplifies it. You're surrounded by peers who are all equally unsupervised. The social pressure to fit it so much stronger.
Interesting point, both of you. Now, Naila, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Anissa. I want to challenge what Salwa and Bintang said. The data Salwa mentioned shows that students make poor choices, but that doesn't mean college itself does it. In fact, college teach students about critical thinking, responsibility, and time management. These are values that help them make better decisions, not worse ones.
And I want to reinforce the point with something I've personally seen. Many students who practice strong religious values, such as joining campus Islamic organization, church communities, or other faith-based group, actually become more disciplined and socially aware during their college years. College gives them a platform to grow spiritually, not just academically.
Moreover, universities today are not passive institutions. Many campuses have mentoring systems, counseling centers, and character building programs specifically designed to support student personal development. The infrastructure is there. It's a matter of whether students choose to use it.
Think about it this way. If a student joins a campus organization that focuses on community service, leads training, or academic development, they are spending their time building something meaningful. The so-called free lifestyle only happens when students have no direction, no community, and no purpose.
But how many students actually take advantage of those programs, Ronnie? The ones who need it the most are usually the ones who don't.
That's a valid concern, and that's why the solution is better outreach and policy from universities, not discouraging students from attending college altogether.
Great arguments from both sides. Now let's move into the rebuttal round. This is where things get serious.
I understand your point, Naila, but can we honestly say that every student is equipped with strong values before entering college? Many come from families where discussions about morality, relationship, and boundaries never happen. Once they are on their own, they are vulnerable, and vulnerability without guidance is dangerous.
And social media and peer pressure make it even harder to stay grounded. Students want to fit in, and sometimes fitting in means crossing moral lines. The environment, not just the individual, plays a huge role in shaping their behavior.
Salwa, I agree that not every student arrives prepared, but the answer is not to say college cause moral decline. The answer is to strengthen character education the high school level. So students arrive at university already equipped, and once they're there, university should ensure the support system is strong enough to catch those who are struggling.
Agreed. Blaming college for moral decline is like blaming a kitchen knife for a crime. The real question is, who is holding the knife and why? The tool is not the problem. The lack of preparation and guidance is.
But Ronnie, when you hand someone and supervise knife in a dark room, aren't you partially responsible for what happened next? The environment matters.
Then we need to light up the room, not take away the knife. Give students better environments, better mentors, better communities. Don't limit their access to education.
I do agree that education itself is not the enemy, but we can't ignore that for many students, college is the first time they face real temptation without any guardrails. The transition needs to be better managed.
And that's exactly what universities are working toward. Orientation weeks now include sessions of mental health, personal boundaries, and campus life. The system is improving, we just need to be patient and constructive.
Both sides are making really strong points now. Before we wrap up, I want to give everyone a chance for a final statement.
My final statement is this: I'm not against education. I am against ignoring the reality that many students struggle during their first years of independence. If we acknowledge that struggle and act on it through better family preparation, university program, and community support, then we can reduce the negative impact. of the college environment. Awareness is the first step.
I totally agree with Salwa. The fact that we're even having this debate shows that issue is real and it's happening. College is a wonderful opportunity, but it must come with proper preparation. Students need to be educated about not just academic skills, but life skills and value before they step foot on campus.
And from my side, college is not of the most important investment a young person can make in their future. The problems we've discussed today are real, but they are not inevitable with the right character, the right community, and the right support system. College can be the place where students grow into their best selves academically, socially, and morally.
My final thought: the enemy is not the college. The enemy is the absence of strong values, community, and guidance. Whether a student falls into a pergaulan bebas or rises above, it depends far more on their internal compass than the institution they attend. So let's focus on buildings that compass in families, in school, and in society before pointing finger at universities.
Thank you so much, everyone. This has been one of the most thoughtful discussion I have ever moderated. Let me summarize both sides before we close. Whether college interests students to a permissive lifestyle depends greatly on the character of individual, the environments they cause, the value they carry, and the support system around them. College is a mirror. It reflects who you are already and give you the course of who you want to become. I hope this discussion has encouraged all our perspective. Thank you.
Thank you, Anissa. Great discussion.
Thank you.